So someone has a heart attack, goes on cholesterol-lowering medication to prevent a heart attack, they can actually be increasing the risk of heart attack. There is no research to show that Crestor and Lipitor prevent heart disease. Did you know that? It's not the fat. Fat is not the problem.
Barbara O'Neill, a well-known health expert, promotes natural and holistic health with many people sharing their success stories from her methods. Today's focus is on foods that can harm your health. In our fast-paced world, we often grab convenient foods that seem harmless but can have serious effects. Nearly 70% of adults regularly eat ultra-processed foods, which are linked to obesity, heart disease, and diabetes. These foods are full of unhealthy fats, sugars, and additives that disrupt the body. In this session, we'll cover which foods to avoid and offer healthier alternatives to improve well-being.
There's even a book called The Human Cost of Lipitor. Let me tell you the side effects of Lipitor. Muscle wasting, interested? Dementia, Alzheimer's, memory loss. And they've added another one to that now, breast cancer, because it's from cholesterol that all our hormones are made. In fact, if cholesterol levels go too low, that person's going to be vitamin D deficient, and there are 2,500 receptor sites on the DNA for vitamin D. Body can't function without vitamin D, and vitamin D is made from cholesterol. Sex and stress hormones can't be made properly if you don't have enough cholesterol. Too low cholesterol is just as dangerous as too high. I've had guests say to me, well, my husband's on Lipitor and his memory's gone. I don't know anyone who's interested in muscle loss, memory loss, or Alzheimer's or dementia. Are you? And you can actually very safely come off cholesterol-lowering medication immediately with no ramifications. It is not proven to prevent heart disease.
Lipitor, a widely used cholesterol-lowering drug, can cause side effects. Cholesterol is essential for hormone production and vitamin D, so very low levels can lead to deficiencies and health problems. Many users experience memory and muscle issues, highlighting concerns about its risks.
So very important, number 2, that you be well hydrated, water. The water loss in a day is about 2.5 litres. That's 1.5 litres out through the kidneys, 0.5 of a litre out of the skin, 0.3 of a litre out of the colon, and 0.2 of a litre out of your lungs. That's 2.5 litres a day. So 2 litres must be replaced. The other half a litre can come through herb teas, maybe your juice, maybe your salad, maybe your fruit salad. You're getting some moisture there. But that water must be replaced. Keeping the heart with all diligence, those muscles need water because out of it are the issues of life, and the best blood thinner is water. But for us to access that water, we need sodium. Sodium in the form of whole salt. Now, let's have a look at the highest concentration of sodium on the planet is seawater. So seawater contains 92 minerals. And of those 92 minerals, 30% is made up of sodium and 50% is made up of chloride. Now, because they make up the largest amount of the minerals in the seawater, the first crystals formed when the water is evaporated from seawater is sodium chloride. And so what man does is he scoops that up, bleaches it white, puts aluminium with it so it runs freely. There's your table salt. And your table salt is a dangerous salt. It only has 2 minerals. Sodium chloride. And if you were to inject sodium chloride straight into the veins, you would kill the person. They're very harsh minerals, those two. They need to be buffered with all the other minerals. The salt that we use is Celtic salt. And Celtic salt has 82 minerals. Now, in that Celtic salt, there are 3 magnesiums. So magnesium sulfate, there's magnesium bromide, and magnesium chloride. Magnesium is an incredibly important mineral in the human body. It's responsible for about 400 enzymic functions. Magnesium is very, very important in the heart because there are 2 minerals that cause that heart to beat. Well, there's a few, but basically these 2. Calcium constricts, magnesium relaxes. Calcium constricts, magnesium relaxes. And so an important part of getting proper heart health, especially if someone has high blood pressure, is magnesium.
So Barbara highlights the importance of staying hydrated, noting that we lose about 2.5 litres of water daily through our kidneys and skin. To replenish this, consuming herbal teas, juices, and hydrating foods like salads and fruits is beneficial. Water is vital for heart health and circulation, but requires sodium for absorption. Unlike standard table salt, which contains only sodium chloride, Celtic salt is a better option as it has 82 minerals, including 3 types of magnesium. Magnesium is crucial for heart health, working with calcium to relax the heart, especially for those with high blood pressure.
So, another no is not fat, but it's wheat. Why wheat? Well, when the hybridization process of making the wheat, the gluten or protein structure of wheat was changed. So originally, wheat was einkorn. No, I don't think that I should be there. I think that I should be there. Einkorn wheat, that was the original wheat. And it had a very fragile structure. And that fragile protein or gluten structure means very easy to be broken down. So easy to be broken down in the grind, in the cooking, in the chewing, in your digestive enzymes. And it is not sure when, but a few thousand years ago, there was a field hybrid with another wild grass that produced emmer wheat. And emmer wheat is not quite as fragile, but it is still fairly fragile. And it is the emmer wheat that went through the intensive crossbreeding. So the hybridized wheat that was hybridized in the 50s went worldwide in the 70s. So by the 1990s, in New Zealand, in Australia, in America, every pasta, every wheat, every cereal, every donut, cake, etc., is made of the hybridized wheat. And that structure of that hybridized wheat is incredibly complex. Very difficult for the gut to break down. And you look at the timeline, 1990s, well established, that's when all the gluten intolerance, gluten sensitivity, gluten intolerance to the point of celiac. Celiac can't even touch it. Gluten intolerant, really, they should only have it once in a blue moon. Gluten sensitive, they can probably have a slice of bread or wheat. So basically, gluten sensitive, gluten intolerant, and gluten intolerant to the point of celiac basically is just describing the intensity of the intolerance. Can you still buy the original? You can buy spelt and you can buy kamut. And spelt and kamut have the same structure of the emmer. So you can still buy that. You can still buy spelt and kamut. You can buy it as pasta, you can buy it as bread. Celiac, who are severe intolerance, often they can't even handle the spelt or the kamut. But often gluten sensitive or gluten intolerant can. Now, if that hybridized wheat was made into a sourdough bread, because of the culturing process, it breaks down the gluten structure to make it a little bit more fragile. And if spelt is made into sourdough bread, it can bring it back to that original structure of the einkorn wheat. Now, if someone eats wheat and they have an intolerance to it, do you know it can get that blood pressure up? So blood pressure can be caused by wheat. So how do you know what you are? I've got a challenge for you. Stop it for 2 months, see what happens.
Wheat is a common part of many diets, but it can cause problems for those with gluten sensitivity or intolerance. Symptoms like bloating, fatigue, and digestive issues can occur. This is partly due to changes in modern wheat through hybridization, which was done to increase crop yield and baking quality, but made wheat harder to digest for some. Many people are turning to alternatives like ancient grains such as spelt or emmer, which are often easier to tolerate. Fermented options like sourdough bread are also better, as the fermentation process breaks down gluten, making it easier to digest. Excessive wheat consumption, especially refined wheat, has been linked to inflammation, weight gain, and other health issues. For better health, reducing or eliminating wheat can be a helpful step.
Well, what will we eat? Well, you can buy some very nice spelt and kamut breads in New Zealand. Go to your health food shop. You can buy gluten-free pastas. You can buy gluten-free cereals. But as you saw in my lecture last night, and by what I explained before the break, the 3 main essential food groups are your fibre, your protein, and your fats. What we need to do is get the carbohydrate part of our diet down, down, down. So what do we eat? Well, I'll tell you what I ate today. For breakfast, I had some new season apple, I had some nectarine, I had some almonds, I had a gluten-free bread that had been bought that had buckwheat and some very nice grains in it. I had olive oil on that, I had avocado on top of that, and I had black-eyed beans on that. Very high in fibre, everything had fibre, generous amounts of protein and some healthy fats. And then I'm not hungry again. I think we ate at 8 o'clock today, and I think we had lunch at 2:30, something like that. You're not hungry till then. Fantastic, because those foods keep the body going. They slowly release the nutrients. What did we have for lunch? Well, we got some magnificent fresh corn, so we all had a big cob of corn each. We had a big salad with avocado. We made a guacamole, mashed up the avocado with some oil and salt and lemon juice. And then we had baked sweet potato. You call it kumara. And then I blended up cashews to a milk with garlic and salt. And then I cooked broccoli in that. And I'd already cooked some chickpeas, which I'd rinsed well and put into that. That was our lunch today. It's 8:15. I'm not hungry, and I don't expect to get hungry again. Can you see that food takes you the distance? Very low carbohydrate. When you eat like that, you hardly need bread.
So in summary, focus on meals with spelt and cut breads, gluten-free options, and prioritize fibre, protein, and healthy fats while lowering carbohydrates. Start your day with a protein-packed breakfast. Enjoy scrambled eggs with avocado and spinach, or a chia seed pudding made with almond milk and topped with berries and nuts. For lunch, try a grilled chicken salad with mixed greens, cucumbers, tomatoes, and olive oil dressing. Add some feta or avocado for healthy fats.
So no caffeine, no wheat, and no refined sugar. Refined sugar is dangerous. It clogs up the arteries. It makes the blood very, very sticky. And you can get so many delicious sweeteners like honey and maple syrup and even the coconut sugars. There's no need to go to the refined sugar. Alcohol is bad news on the heart, and tobacco. They must stop if you want heart health, keeping the heart with all diligence. And number 4, we've done number 4, this is number 5, is high fibre. All your plant-based foods are high fibre. Generous amounts of protein. and your healthy fats. Now, there are 2 herbs that work very well in strengthening the heart, and you may have heard of this herb. It's number 6 we're up to. It's the hawthorn berry. And I wouldn't be surprised if you've got hawthorn berries growing in New Zealand, because in Australia they grow in Victoria because they love the cold climate. I think they're originally from England. And because the English came here, I wouldn't be surprised if they bought the hawthorn berry. The hawthorn berry strengthens the heart. It brings it back to normality. Often people have heart arrhythmia, often caused by caffeines and wheats and refined sugar, not even realising that the food they're eating is causing the problem. But hawthorn berry can bring it back to normality. It's an incredibly safe herb. The other herb is cayenne pepper. Now, cayenne pepper is one of the most powerful blood thinners that there is. About 15 years ago, at our health retreat in Melbourne, the chef was giving a cooking class to 15 guests, and I got a call. Lady had had a heart attack. She was about 80. She'd already had a couple that year of minor ones. So I ran. I was at the health centre in 3 minutes. The guests are standing round, terrified, of course. The lady's on the ground. She's totally pale. She was half conscious. A guy was holding a pulse. He said, the pulse is almost gone. I said, quick, get the cayenne pepper. I quickly got half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper and put it in her mouth. She was half conscious. I said, give me a bit of water. She was able to drink a little. And it must have been 2 minutes, and the guy holding a pulse yelled out, the pulse is strong. I looked at this lady, all the colour had came into her face, and she sat up and said, what happened? It was absolutely incredible. I'd read about it, but now I saw for myself. And everyone standing round was going, whoa. I said, no, it's not me, it's the cayenne pepper. Now, we sold out of cayenne pepper that program. Everyone was absolutely amazed. What did it do to that lady? What it did to that lady, now remember, it takes 1 minute for 1 drop of blood to go right round your whole body. And when we put the cayenne pepper in her mouth, the sublingual glands under her tongue immediately absorbed that cayenne pepper. So it took 1 minute to go round the body, and when that cayenne pepper went into the blood, it thinned the blood. It opened all the little capillaries and got a powerful delivery of blood all through the body. Amazing.
Cayenne pepper is recognized as a powerful blood thinner. It works by being quickly absorbed through the sublingual glands under the tongue, allowing it to circulate rapidly in the bloodstream. This action thins the blood and opens capillaries, enhancing blood flow throughout the body. The effectiveness of cayenne pepper in promoting circulation has garnered significant interest and attention, making it a potential lifesaver in the event of a heart attack.
Now, there is something else that is a very powerful blood thinner, and that is ginger. And you can have ginger as a tea. One of my favourite teas is to finely grate ginger and pour boiling water on it. That makes a delicious tea. Very sparky. If it's too sparky for you, just water it down a bit. And ginger is also not only a blood thinner, but it's a very potent anti-inflammatory herb. Garlic has been studied for about 20 years now on the wonders that or the wonderful effect it has on the heart and on the blood. And omega-3. Now, the most powerful way to get your omega-3 is, I believe, in the plant kingdom, which is your ground flaxseed or linseed, same thing, and chia seeds. Chia seeds are very easy. If you have smoothies, throw them in your smoothie. One thing I love to do at home is I squeeze a grapefruit, get the juice, and I put a cup, maybe a heaped tablespoon in the grapefruit juice, mix it around. By the time I've chopped up my other fruit, it's like a soft jelly, and you put your fruit in that. It's a delicious way to have it. And walnuts. These 3 foods are the highest in omega-3. Flaxseed's the highest, chia is the second highest, and walnuts come to a close second. So you might have ground flaxseed and chia for breakfast, and you might have walnuts for lunch. And they will keep the blood nice and thin.
So, as Barbara mentions, ginger is a powerful blood thinner and anti-inflammatory herb, and it also gives you extra flavor when added to your meals. For the important omega-3s, ground flax seeds and chia seeds are the best plant sources. Walnuts are also high in omega-3s and are also very delicious enjoyed on a salad. These help keep the blood nice and thin. And that's it for today, guys. We hope you learned something from this video about keeping a healthy heart and how to avoid a heart attack or other heart-related issues. If you have any questions or need further advice, please drop them in the comments below. Remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more valuable health tips, and as always, stay informed, stay healthy,